listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. We've got a new WWE champion. There's pollen in the air, and Triple H is booking like he just don't care. As always, I'm one half of your hosting team, Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast, he is Mr. Slam himself. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, back at it again. We are hotter than Bam Adebayo, scoring 83 points, and ready to scoop it, slam it, and see what else is going on in the wild world of wrestling.
Yeah, we got to make a pit stop on the road to WrestleMania, so this is it right here. We've got
Get gas? Oh man,
yeah, we got to get gas, so we're stopping at the AEW truck stop this weekend for AEW Revolution. So if you'll stick with us, we got predictions at the end of the show, but obviously we've got some SmackDown to break down. Big news coming out of that with a new WWE champion. Raw and a big segment with CM Punk and the Usos, kind of a continuation of that feud. And Virgins Day all the way down in the PC in Orlando. We're going to break it down here as well. But before we get too far into anything, I know you scoured the internet, Ryan. You got some scoops for us to break down today. So go ahead.
Yeah, I got some mini scoops for you this week, Micah, because we do got a jam-packed show. Want to start off by getting your thoughts with bodyslam.net reporting less than a week ago that Road Dogg will be exiting the company, and he was previously the head writer of SmackDown, Micah. So any thoughts on, the D-O-double-G leaving the WWE?
I think ultimately it's a net positive. Obviously, Road Dogg had this position before. I don't think people were real high on him then. Then he comes back, and we all know what the state of SmackDown was in 2025. It was WWE's worst show by far to me. It was so just lackluster, boring. Some of that was kind of caused by injuries as well. But I will say this year, SmackDown has been cooking. And if they let go of Road Dogg this early into the year, right before Mania season, that to me is a signal that this probably was not Road Dogg running the ship for SmackDown. So if you ask me personally, I think it's a positive move, and SmackDown's been cooking lately. So by all intents and purposes, it looks like a good deal.
Did you see they promoted another person to be like the head writer of Raw? Did you see that headline too?
I saw it was this woman that I've never heard of before. But
yeah. Should we pull up a link?
Women's Month. Shout out her.
should we pull up a LinkedIn? What's he done?
Let's check it out real quick because I don't know. I saw it earlier. Her name is Alexandria Williams. She was promoted from her role as senior writer and producer. So she oversees the creative department, storylines, and character development for the show going forward on Netflix.
I'm guessing a former like a TV type writer or movie writer. I don't think she has any pro wrestling experience outside of, just WWE. Do you like that? Is that something that you think they should be doing for the weekly shows, hiring TV writers? I don't know how I feel.
I'm not a necessarily huge fan of it, but it's kind of been their mantra for a couple years now. So,
is that a good thing?
I don't think so, because then you take what's her name in the AEW.
Was it Alexander Pepperday or something?
Something like that. Maybe Alexandria Pepperday.
Yeah,
Pepper Tree.
She's Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné personal writer, and she
Yeah,
follows.
honestly, the first time I ever heard of her was like the clips of Cornette talking about her. So I don't actually know her real name.
No, but I feel like when the best times in pro wrestling, Micah, let's be honest, it was the Attitude Era, or you go all the way back to the golden era of the mid '80s, late '80s, early '90s,
Ruthless
or
Aggression.
you go. Hold up now, that was it. That I wouldn't say that was a like a golden era for WWE. I mean, it was a good era, but like the best era is just maybe three, maybe four people writing the show and not having, 35 script writers from Hollywood that doesn't really get pro wrestling. You know what I mean, Micah?
Yeah, because I think in the '90s it was what Jr. Cornette, Pritchard, and Vince.
Vince. And then Vince Russo, yeah.
And I feel, oh God, I feel like it's easier when you got four people to keep it more centric on one
Yeah.
idea. Like everybody can come together with it. I think that's a lot of the reason too. We talk about it depends because AEW does the same thing as well, but a lot of times it feels like guys operate in their own sphere, like independent of everything else going on the show. So I feel like that's probably to blame for that because I mean, you've probably got one writer doing this and the next doing that, and it all gets signed off by the head lady. But at the end of the day, I'm sure she's dealing more with like putting it all together and making it work rather than the individual people themselves.
But I just don't want the spirit of pro wrestling to die and just have all these Hollywood script writers trying to write a professional wrestling show.
Honestly, think it may already be dead in that regard.
It's over. Cat's out the bag. We can't put it back.
I mean, but how long have they been doing that with these Hollywood writers? Like 10, 15 years maybe?
They started it around 02, 03. Right around when Stephanie joined the creative team. They started hiring all the Hollywood writers.
Oh yeah, because he's from
Yeah,
Hollywood,
Brian
isn't he?
Gerwitz. Yeah, Brian Gerwitz. He's actually still on the Rock's team. I don't know. He's a Rock's handler. I don't know what's going on there, but a lot of people saying that Gerwitz, when Triple H, well, if Triple H gets the axe from TKO, they want to change up a creative. People are saying that Gerwitz is going to be the next guy up. I don't know how true that is, but I don't know.
It would be interesting. I personally, I don't feel like it will happen just because of all the events, but I want Punk to get it in some form or fashion
Ooh,
because I've always talked about like, oh, it's between like him, Seth, and Cody, and I'm like, dude, if Seth or Cody gets it, just nuke the whole company.
is there maybe a Sean? You think Sean will probably get the first dibs?
I don't know. I mean, he's got NXT, and I kind of have a feeling whenever he goes, Triple H will go too. Like they just kind of go hand in hand.
Package deal.
Yeah. So maybe we could see like in all actuality, I think Punk will get NXT. I don't think that he gets the main roster reigns. Maybe this is just hope. Well, I won't even say hopeful, but just like theoretically, 15 years down the line, we may have like a Cody Seth tandem main roster
Oh no,
with Punk and developmental, but that's just kind of wishful thinking
that's speculation. Yeah,
or speculation. I wouldn't even call it wishful thinking because it ain't what I want.
I don't want to see it. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out her, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, Road Dogg.
Ooh,
Hopefully, the
wait a
road
minute.
is not too hard on him. Maybe, hey,
Is Yeah, I was just about to say, is there a no compete clause here in this contract, Mike? Because there's a pay per view coming up for AEW.
Do we get an old age Outlaws?
Well, hold up now. Got Daddy Ass, and would that be Daddy Dog? What?
I
I don't know.
Put it on a t-shirt. It might can work.
Okay, there you go. Is Max Caster still around them, or is he back with his sons?
I don't even know.
I don't know what's going on there. Oh, Big Boom AJ, he's back. Maybe
Okay.
is he having like a open challenge for the pay per view? Big Boom AJ.
Oh God, can you imagine? Big
Hey,
Boom
him and
AJ
Billy
and Big
Gunn.
Justice versus the Old Age Outlaws. Book
Hey
it,
man,
pal.
you laugh, but that might tear the house down in the opening match.
No, something's gonna get torn. I don't think it's gonna be the house,
Oh,
but Ryan, I believe you've got one more thing for us to break down, right? Oh, no
yeah, I
pun
do.
intended.
Well, I do, and it's the new AEW streaming service, Micah. Did you hear about this? This came out a couple days ago. It's basically my AEW platform is designed to bring the global AEW fan base an immersive digital experience, connecting fans with the best in-ring action, behind-the-scenes moments, and exclusive digital content, laying the foundation to become the central hub for all fans of professional wrestling. It mentions giving fans immersive access to live and on-demand events outside North America, so outside United States, Canada, Mexico, and it's basically a tiered. Is it tiered? No, it's a monthly service where you pay a certain amount and you get ROH, you get all the AEW weekly shows, and you get backstage exclusive content that nobody watches. But you get the pay-per-views as well, and I believe you get those for 90 days after the fact.
I think you're
So
right, yeah.
what do you think about that, Mike?
Um, first off, I think that it is a pretty good price if you do the base monthly. It's what, like $7.99?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's a good price to get the weekly shows. In all honesty, this is just kind of a wishful, like I wish this was a real thing. I wish they would offer more stuff like this where like I could pay $10 to $15 a month and just get every wrestling show. Now I mean there's free ventures out there, but if there was like an actual streaming service dedicated to that, I think that would be great. Obviously, we're all very reminiscent of the network,
Oh
so
man,
this is kind
yeah.
of the same thing. Obviously, the catalog won't be as deep and rich.
Well,
However,
hold up now. Do you think we'll get exclusive content? Like, are we gonna get spin-off shows on the AEW network?
can we get
We get like Camp AEW or
can we get Villain Club takes over the
oh
island?
no, come on. Stop. What are we what
We can look. We can
we're
have
off the
Marty
rails here.
Scurll. We can have Will
No.
Ospreay in light of
Oh
recent
man.
news. Hangman Adam
Jeez.
Page joins the
Jeez.
fray. I mean, come
Ooh.
on.
Okay. We'll workshop that one. Can we can we have a third season of Swerve? Can we bring back Swerve?
Hey, that could work.
There you
That
go.
one could
Swerve
actually
could
work.
host it. There
There
you
we go.
Swerve could he could host it. There you yeah. Him and Nana.
Sponsored by Nana's Coffee.
There you go. He can just dance throughout the whole episode. And when he's not on screen, they can just put a little box at the bottom of the screen with him dancing.
Okay, it's
Can
like
they do that?
it's like brain rot. No, but in all seriousness, I do think that it is a good thing for international fans. I do hate how like handicapped we are here, like in America with stuff like that because in let's say you live in the UK, you've got the AEW platform and you've got the WWE, like everything's just on Netflix. And here I'm like, I had to text you the other day, hey, where is the NXT pay per view even on anymore? Like, I don't know. But then again, we do get all the shows, so I guess it's a fair trade off. But I think it's a good move at the end of the day. Sorry for all the sidebars and probably my tasteless joke, but maybe it popped somebody out there.
You know, I you know what you got to do to get this in the United States. You got to get you. Oh, we don't have a sponsor with them, but get you a VPN and get you the AEW streaming service for just $7.99. It's a great deal for the fans. I'm a little worried about why this is rolling out. Are we just abandoning the whole idea of having an ROH TV deal, Micah? Is that dead?
Oh, I'm sure. I think they've
That's
tried
it.
for too long.
And with the news of Paramount officially acquiring the Warner Brothers, TV or library, is very worrisome about the future of AEW. And maybe this is just me putting on my conspiracy theory, aluminum foil hat, but maybe this is just a backup plan for them. If anything does happen, they do get thrown off the air. They do have a place to air their content, but I don't know. That's just me being a conspiracy theorist.
Well, I mean, I could see it, and it would be better than them going, like, hypothetically, if they lose their network deal, it would be better than them going to YouTube because they could at least pay, or they could at least get some kind of compensation. Now, I don't know how much it would be, but at the end of the day, I don't want AEW to get thrown off the air, even if they're not doing exactly what I like or prefer at this very moment. It is good for professional wrestling. It is good for the people within it and us as fans. So, honestly, as a contingency plan, if that is truly what this is, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, ultimately, let's say you get 100,000 people in the US to sign up for a $7 a month program. That's $700,000 every month for technically a network deal. Let's say it takes you, I don't know, 250,000 to have like the streaming bandwidth and all that. And these are all hypothetical numbers. I truly know nothing about what goes into that. But, it's not a bad plan. Whereas, like, they were airing dark on YouTube, and then you get really nothing aside from like ad revenue. So,
Well, since this is like a international exclusive thing, did they not have any international partners beforehand?
I
Like, where
think
was
they
this?
did with like Fight and Triller. I think that's what this is the end of.
Did they? They probably did air the weekly shows on that service, but you
I
got to
th-
think they're taking a haircut to run this by themselves.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's why WWE moved away from the network because they could end up selling it for more, their rights for more money to other companies. And that's kind of why we're in the situation we're in right now. But then again, 5 years from now, AEW says we have 250,000 people signed up for this $7 a month price. What would you give us? And we'll give you our catalog. You know what I mean? That's a bargaining chip the same way WWE did it. So maybe it's just a trial run for that. Maybe it's a contingency plan for the future. Either way, I think it's a good move.
It's gonna be very interesting, but overall, the service great for the fans. I'm a little worrisome about the future of the company that they're rolling this out, but positive news from the dub this week going into a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, before we get to the NXT pay per view, we got to break down some SmackDown. Two world championship feuds going into WrestleMania. To start us off, Jade Cargill meets Rhea Ripley face to face in the ring on SmackDown. So I believe last week we had talked about their beef online a little bit, right? On the podcast. I think we read the tweets.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We went over it.
So, this was the aftermath of that, and I think it was pretty highly anticipated. I know I was interested in it. I almost was going to watch live, but some things kind of came up, and I wasn't able to watch the entire show. And I feel like I won in that regard because I think I, as well as everyone else who watched this, felt let down, especially if you had watched this live.
What do you do to capitalize all that online chatter you started with these work shoot type tweets, Micah? What do you do to capitalize on that? You get these two, mega star ladies in the ring together, first promo exchange, and they talk about how big their muscles are. Is that what we're doing here? Do you think, are we building to a pose down, Micah?
That's you beat me
Are
to
we
it.
getting a pose down?
This is Vince booking 101. Like, you cannot tell me that this right here was not a Vince-esque segment that leads to an oiled up pose down the next week, like Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory.
Do you know Vince's last Monday Night Raw? That was the last segment. A pose down.
It does not shock me
We
in
covered
the
it.
slightest.
We covered it on the show, actually. Go back
Oh,
and listen to the archives, ladies and gentlemen. We go over that.
And I remember it was interesting, like not in a good way, but it's definitely a choice. Now I'll say this: you remember when Triple H and Scott Steiner had the pose down?
Oh, and Scott just stripped him in the middle of the ring, and he had
Yeah,
had his undies on. Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty good.
Scott Steiner frame mogged him. Yeah, that I was actually invested in as a kid, but Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, I don't know about that. And to see this kind of be like the modern day pose down without actually seeing the bodies is just,
Oh, you
it
want to see the
was
bodies, huh,
odd.
Mike?
Oh, well,
You see the
no.
bodies, huh?
We're going to NXT later. That's where
Okay.
we do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I feel like they could have ran with, you know, Rhea, you're not like, it's just so much easier to me to take this segment and go with the new age Jade Cargill, like I'm the now, you're the past.
Yeah.
You've been to all these WrestleManias, but I'm like making my first appearance as world champion, and I'm gonna be danged if I walk out of WrestleMania not champion, or you felt threatened in the locker room because of my presence, and that's why you go online. And like that just feels so
Yeah.
much easier to flesh out and have a good promo battle with, instead of, well, yeah, you are pretty powerful, but my finisher's better.
Man, you got CM Punk and Roman Reigns talking about their dead father. Meanwhile, on the other show, you got you got Rhea and Jade discussing how oily their muscles look. Man, it's just they don't really let the women get personal like they do the men. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a thing that they're just not cool with. Maybe like Rhea and Jade were not cool to talk about that because maybe there was some real life tension, but
Real
we got
heat
to come
there.
up with some better material than that.
And I wanted to point this out because I saw some chatter online. Like, I like to keep up with what the IWC are talking about. And a lot of people were burying Jade for this promo, and rightfully so. Jade was not the best doing this promo, but Rhea Ripley's got to share some blame for this. And I started thinking about it, Micah. I think Rhea Ripley is probably the worst main event main eventer promo there is right now. Like,
Mm.
she's clearly the top of the division, right? Micah, you would agree.
Yeah, I mean, she's the draw for the women's division. Probably the
And her
top drawing
promos.
woman in pro wrestling.
Yeah, and the promos, the cadence to how she speaks. Like, I don't know. She kind of gets that WWE itis type speak where I'm gonna start slowly while getting faster and louder as I talk more. Then I slow down again towards the end, and then maybe they're finish off the sentence with the B word or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? You can't really. It's hard to kind of explain, but once you see it, you can spot it.
No, I 100% know what you're talking about because that's how like every NXT product is right now. Aside from like
Yeah.
Ricky and Ethan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't. It doesn't sound like natural to me. I'm not feeling it.
No, it felt forced, and I think I have to agree with you just because of where Rhea is on the card. Now, if you would have asked me 6 months ago, I would have said Tiffany. But Tiffany's not really like the top lady anymore, but Rhea has never not been the top lady, probably since I started watching again.
She's
And
clearly been 1A and 1B with Bianca. Bianca's not here.
yes. So Bianca can talk though, and Rhea, I just can't really say I've been blown away by much that she's done on the mic. Maybe when she was with Dominic, there was some good stuff in there. But since then, and I mean, we're what, getting close to 2 years removed from that?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But it does kind of anger me to see people throw that on Jade. I did not see that. That's insane to me because it was both of them. They were both horrible.
Yeah. They were both really bad. Yeah. But people were saying Jade's not cut out for the business and Jade's heart isn't in it. But I'm standing there and I'm reading all these comments. I'm like, did people not watch this segment? This was really bad by Rhea.
Yeah, and
Like not good, awful.
And if this is your first time listening, we love Jade and Rhea here on the show, but we call a spade, and this was just not good. And I think
Material was
people,
bad and the delivery was bad. But go ahead, Mike.
yes.
I cut you off.
Well, I was gonna say people, I think, throw shade on Jade for the fact that she is one, a former AEW product, two,
Yeah.
she is not Rhea Ripley. And I mean that to say Rhea has fans. So they probably say, "Oh well, we've seen Rhea have good promo segments, but we haven't seen Jade have good promos." But when you break that down, I don't really remember a Rhea Ripley promo that blew me away. I don't really remember a Jade promo that blew me away.
Well, hold up
So,
now. Jade, you remember that first promo in AEW? That train wreck of a promo.
oh Lord. Well, Jade's definitely had some stinkers, but this
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
both parts bad. Like if Rhea had blown her out the water, it would have been evident because Jade's performance was that rough. And it by the end of it, to me, both ladies, I just felt like, what? Like what are we talking about? What's our issue here?
Yeah, last year was a train wreck. This year is just like you going under the speed limit in a residential neighborhood. Like, can we speed this up a little bit? Can we get a little dangerous? Throw out a Buddy
Yeah.
Murphy line. I'm fine with that. Jade, is her daughter at ringside? Say something about her daughter.
Yeah. Or
Let's get a
Nair.
little personal here.
We can't talk about Buddy Nair. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like you said, like it's just a very weird contrast because Roman and
Yeah.
Punk are talking about dead fathers, and I'm assuming the dog's gonna get brought up next week.
He
The way
might
I
bring
said,
him out next week.
yeah.
He might have to.
If you don't do your vocab, the dog dies. But anyways, I'm assuming next week you get Randy and Cody, which that's
Yeah.
going to be pretty heated because it's going to be like, you're my young boy. You know what I mean? You were in Legacy, and the only reason you're here is because of me, and yada yada. That's going to get a little personal. You know, they're both second generation superstars. And then you know, you want to see my muscles? That's the feud for the women's championship. Like, I don't buy that. And even Liv and Stephanie are having a
Yeah,
more personal feud.
that's crazy. I wouldn't have guessed that like 2 weeks ago.
No, because we've talked about Stephanie's inability to cut promos that translate in English, but then, you know, some things don't need to be said in English to understand that she was cooking Liv in that sit down promo.
But then after that too, though, and I know we're probably running long on this segment, but they had another segment on Raw. They being Stephanie and Liv. Stephanie was cutting a heated promo in Spanish, and they put the subtitles up, and you could understand where she was coming from and the animosity between these two. Liv cut a promo the week before. They had a backstage segment, so they've been building up something personal there. But we just haven't gotten that here, and I'll give it some time because we're a ways away from WrestleMania. But yeah, the first week, man, thumbs down, thumbs down.
Well, I won't even say we haven't gotten it. We just haven't gotten it on the TV show. We got it on Twitter.
Yeah,
So
just put it on. Can you put it on Titantron during the show? The tweets.
ought to, or just rehash the tweets. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
Michael Cole. Michael Cole just read through 'em.
yeah.
And then Dewdrop tweeted out at 12:33 a.m. that
You're a bum. But in all seriousness, you know, we hope better for him. But like you said, thumbs down.
yeah.
And speaking of thumbs down and dislikes,
Oh
the main
gosh.
event of SmackDown for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Lot to
Uh,
unpack.
it. I'll say this right now, Micah. I thought the match was fine. I wasn't blown away. It was a good TV match, but I don't. I feel like the hate that this got online was very unwarranted because on one hand, we don't want to see more multi-man matches. At least me and you on the podcast have been saying no more multi-man matches. So I'm happy they're not going with a multi-man match. And the other route that they could have went is with Drew versus Randy at WrestleMania, which sounds absolutely horrendous because we've gotten that over and over again. They've had feuds. I think they had a match just last year. So I did not want to see that. And the best option is to do Cody versus Randy. You like you just said earlier, you got 20 years worth of storylines that you can call back to. And you got the archived footage of Cody, showing up in 2007 and him and Randy having a backstage interaction, Randy slapping Dusty. We have that footage. We can tell a very great story with that. I don't the match is probably going to be a match, a Cody Randy match. You probably know what you're going to expect. But the build up has potential to be probably one of the best stories they've told in the Triple H era, just with all the history they can play off of. And these two guys are great promos. I want to see the story. I don't want to see Drew versus Randy. So I didn't have a problem with this direction they're going in.
So first off, I would like to ask or pose the question to the listening audience. What did we expect, right? Because everybody knew going into SmackDown that Cody was going to win that belt. I mean, you just knew when they announced the rematch. Secondly, I agree with you. I love Drew McIntyre, right? I think he's been doing some of the best work of his career on this heel run. However, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton does not scream WrestleMania main event to me.
No, sir.
So we could have ran that, but like you said, the story is built in for Cody versus Randy. I think the issue in lies in this is they have teased Cody versus Randy for so long that now it's just almost I don't want to see it anymore. I did maybe want to see it a year or two ago, but like we've had them face off against each other a couple times. Notably, I think one was like at King of the Ring or maybe like the Crown Jewel Championship or something like that. But
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to get in the ring. And I think that I pretty much know what this story is going to be. I just would have liked it a year or two earlier. Now, I would also like to look at the flip side of that. Everyone has asked for the Cody Randy feud. And now you get it. And nobody wants it. Please tell me how that makes sense. Like, I understand people are mad because they did this to Drew. However, he got a WWE Championship reign. What is something that me and you have clamored for years at this point? Meaningful championship changes on weekly TV shows.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't make
And
it feel
quicker.
so performative to lose the belt at Mania or SummerSlam only.
Yeah. We were clamoring for quicker title reigns too. We don't need the 6-month long reigns that ends at SummerSlam exclusively, or the year-long reign that guys are just, getting fed undercard guys, and that they're not gonna lose the title to Finn Balor at, Backlash. That's not gonna happen. So it just makes the TV predictable, and it makes the PLEs predictable. So I don't co-sign that it was a bad thing that Drew McIntyre got the title and immediately dropped the title. I don't hate that because we've been clamoring for quicker title reigns and more unpredictable weekly shows. And who would have predicted 2 months ago, Micah, that we would get 2 WWE title changes on the road to WrestleMania on SmackDown?
Exactly. It's literally the fifth and sixth time the WWE Championship has ever changed hands on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And not only that, Drew won the belt and got to take it home. He got to go home as WWE champion. So like all these people clamoring for Drew to like leave and they're doing Drew wrong. Like brother, he got a 50-day reign as WWE champion during
Yeah.
one of the most important parts of the year. He's going to get a match with a pretty, I won't say big rivalry, but a rivalry that's been building with Jacob Fatu. It'll get a lot of eyes on it because people love Jacob, they love Drew. And we also get this Cody Randy story that everybody has been begging for. And we avoid the multi-man match. So, yeah, I don't love Cody. Like, we know this. I'm not a big fan of him, and I think Randy will probably win at Mania. But this was the right decision. I don't get all the backlash. Again, like I don't love Cody. I like Drew being champion. But when you look at it from like all those points of view, this was just the most like layup decision ever.
And apparently you pointed out earlier that this was WWE's most disliked video on WWE's YouTube channel for the entirety of 2026. I know it's probably not a lot of ground to cover, but still, apparently that was the most disliked video. And it's crazy to think because just 2 years ago, Micah, you remember the Cody crybabies? We want Cody, justice for Cody, and he literally was the figurehead of a movement that changed the course of WrestleMania. And now 2026, he's the IWC's pariah along with Jey Uso. It's insane. Rock was right. I'm getting tired of you Rock haters. You need to apologize to The Rock.
Oh, The Rock's due for apologies about the Cena heel run too. Like that's
Yeah.
The Rock gets way too much hate online. Like, I understand it, but when you really look at stuff like the way he did about Cody and the way the Cena stuff turned out, like, come on, man.
That's
He was
right.
right.
He was right. It's just crazy how much the mighty have fallen in just 2 years, Micah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be like if Daniel Bryan was hated at like WrestleMania 32 and nobody wanted him as a world champion.
Yeah. Or like
I
Steve
mean,
Austin in like 2000 just gets booed out the building.
yeah, like you can't even fathom that, but
And I'm not even gonna say this is a problem per se because maybe we're just online a little too much because that building was rocking when Cody's hand was raised and that 3 count was counted. The building exploded. I think they were in Portland. They might have been in Portland, but yeah, it got a massive reaction in the arena. But the IWC as a whole was completely burying the whole concept of Cody getting the title back.
so yeah, I don't know. We'll see where they lead with it. Um, but yeah, I don't know how we spent that long on SmackDown, but that's it,
we'll
ladies and gentlemen.
we'll run through Virgin's Day. We'll run through that.
Sound like you said Virgin's Day for a minute.
Well, that one too. We'll get through that.
Anyways, we're gonna take a
Look
trip
for
down to
that show, Mike.
Oh Lord. Never mind. I was about, I was about to say something. Anyways,
Sickos.
yeah.
Sickos. That's your day, huh?
We're gonna travel down to Orlando to the PC for Vengeance Day. And we're probably not gonna spend too long on this, but there was a good slate of matches here and some
Let
key
me.
people I would like to point
I
to that
was
are kind of the leaders of this next generation for NXT.
I was gonna say, Micah, I apologize for making you watch this show. I was led astray. I was told that this was the PLE of the year for WWE. So we sat through this 2 hours, and yeah, we'll get into it.
It wasn't all bad. It just wasn't
It was just there.
great. Yeah.
It just
To
happened.
start us off, we've got Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker in a street fight.
They worked hard. God bless them.
They did. They did. They worked hard. Um, shout out the ladies.
Yeah.
But this was
Never.
the one you texted me like, oh, apparently
Yeah,
Blake and Jada tore the
I did.
house down.
That's what the reaction online was, bro.
I watched it and I was like, I mean, it was
Ah,
all right, but tore the house down. Like, what is this the straw house? Like in the big bad werewolf story? What house are we talking about? I mean, I wrote down, it was nothing crazy, a quick, fun, uninsulting street fight. Like there was nothing just egregious. I think Jada is still a little rough around the edges altogether, but I think Blake is main roster ready. And the spot of the match, I guess you could say, I liked the whole diamonds touch instead of like thumbtacks. I thought that was neat.
yeah,
But yeah, other than that, you know,
it happened.
it was there. Shout out the ladies.
Yeah, they worked hard.
So following that, we had
Oh, wait a minute. Let's. Blake did pick up the win. By the way,
correct. Always
Blake
forget to
Monroe
say the winner.
beat Jada Parker with I don't know what that DDT she does, but DDT'd her on the diamonds on the
Yeah,
ring mat.
they are forever.
They are. They're sentenced to mediocrity for life, Mike. I don't know if you heard about that.
I'm not sure I catch that drift.
You don't remember that promo where Tony Storm sentenced Mariah May to a lifetime of mediocrity? You don't remember that? Lead up to the Hollywood ending?
Maybe vaguely.
Oh, you
I've
want
been
locked into
seeing.
the storyline of the year, Micah? Is that what you're
Oh
saying?
yeah, I've been seeing all the stuff because it was like a year ago this past week, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this was the great." No, dude, when they simultaneously grabbed the buckets of glass and taped their fist and dipped it in there, you lost me. But anyways, that was another time and another company far, far away. The next match was Dion Lennox versus Tony D'Angelo, which basically
Okay.
turned into, I don't know if you've been playing the new Island on WWE 2K26, but this essentially just turned into the scrapyard where they fought all throughout the PC, eventually making their way to the ring. Uh,
Was
I
that?
thought it was fun,
Yeah.
but
What?
I mean, I don't, it kind of took me back to the Broiler Room matches.
See, I thought of the John Cena Eddie Guerrero parking lot brawl when I first seen it, but then I thought it was gonna be a parking lot brawl for a sec because they were out there, but then they just made their way to the arena. And shout out Tony D. I think it was him being Tony D'Angelo. They got superplexed through the announce table. Very unique spot.
Oh,
Never
yeah, I
seen
did
that.
like that.
Never seen that. Superplex being, completed on a announce table. But did he look like Juice Robinson to you for a sec?
Yeah, like if Juice added 50 pounds,
Or like Jungle Boy, jacked up,
he could probably
jacked up
eat
Jungle
Jungle
Boy?
Boy.
They completely abandoned his mafia boss gimmick that he had.
Well, I will say this. I I'm in favor of the gimmick change. I thought coming out of this, and I wrote this down, I thought this was the best Tony D'Angelo has looked to me ever. I think he could like actually be something on the main roster after seeing this match. Now the Italian gimmick, like it pops me because I like the Sopranos and the Godfather and all that, but long
It,
term, probably not gonna work out.
I don't know. I feel like it makes him more bland now that he doesn't have any type of gimmick. Now he's just another guy. What do they call that in NFL? A jag? He's just another guy. Doesn't really
I
stand out
mean,
as much.
yeah, but I'll give it time. I'll see what they do with him because he just came back.
Are you gonna be there for that?
Oh, I'll be there. I've been
Okay.
I've
All
been
right.
tuning in to, well, I've been in the
Okay.
room while NXT's been on. I'll just say that.
Okay. It's been watching you while you're doing other
It's
stuff.
been watching me. That's right.
All right.
Um, you know, a couple things. Obviously, this match gets a little hokey. I'll have to call it out just because I do typically do those things for AEW. So, there was a lack of a count, and also, they brawl through the entire arena. Then they get in the ring and start the match. But at the
It's,
end of the day, it was solid. I think Dion
yeah.
Lennox is actually going to be pretty good. I know you haven't seen it, but for anyone out there who's seen season 6 of Love Island, Dion Lennox looks like Miguel. I cannot unsee that. Other than that, I think him and Saquon Sugars will come out of Dark State and be the two stars. As for the other two guys, I wish you well in whatever
Oh,
happens next.
talk about Jags. It's those other jabronis, those
Yeah.
tag-alongs. You got
Did
the white dude that makes the sus jokes, and then is he like some kind of Italian or Samoan? I don't know what he is. The other guy that is with him.
couldn't
What's
tell you
that
his
guy's name?
name.
I don't know, but yeah, the other two, Lennox and Sugars, are definitely the stand. They need to let bro talk a little more, man.
Yeah.
Sugars,
What
they need to let him talk.
well also it's Osiris Griffin, that's his name.
Oh,
Um
what a generic name. Can you imagine that on the marquee? Osiris Griffin, the main event of WrestleMania.
yeah. Well, that's why like Saquon Sugars, that's got a little, okay,
Yeah,
I can get behind that. Dion
yeah.
Lennox is a little odd, but maybe.
Well, I think it works.
But yeah, did you
Cyrus.
see there was a spot where Sugar's like, I think he was jumping to attack Tony D'Angelo, and he almost cleared him.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So I would definitely like to see more of him.
Yeah,
OTM got involved in this as well, and I think they cut a
they're
promo
back.
later on that I thought was pretty good.
They're back. They're letting them talk now too.
Yeah.
They got completely overshadowed by Jada Parker, and I thought they were doomed. But they're still trying to make that happen, make it work. I can see that being a thing on the main roster. I don't know if I see, big time marquee staying power tag team for the main roster. Maybe they'll be together and they'll break up almost immediately when they get there. But they're doing stuff with those guys. And who won this match? Was it Tony D? I think Tony D won.
Yeah, Tony D won. I'm assuming he is going for the NXT championship next, but I'm not too sure. I'll have to I didn't catch NXT tonight, so I have to see what happens there. But we'll move on to the next match, which is for the NXT North American Women's Championship. Izzy Dame, is he not? Versus Tatum Paxley. To start us off, did you watch the AI promo package that they had before this match?
Is that what that was?
Oh yeah, so bad. It was so bad AI.
I wasn't really locked into it.
Go back if you didn't watch it, not just you, but anybody out there, go back and just watch it. It's like 3 minutes. But there's like a part where it's got like Tatum and these like vines are coming out of her face. And then like the vines like start detaching. It was horrible. Like, listen, man, I
But
get it, but
yeah.
this is a $1 billion company. You can't pay some freaking graphic design team to make you a promo package.
Well, what are they going for here with Tatum Pack? What am I missing with Tatum Paxley? Because she seems to be liked a lot at the PC, in the arena, and online. But every time I watch her, I'm not. Does she seem like generic to you, Micah? I feel like I've seen a dozen Tatum Paxleys come through this system in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think Tatum is the very prototypical Alexa Bliss light. Like a lot of ladies love doing the spooky gimmicks.
Oh, Goth Alexa Bliss,
Yeah,
Ju-
that's basically what
Julia
I get
Hart.
from her. Yeah, quite literally. Julia Hart, Goth Alexa Bliss, like the undersized spooky girl. And I think there's an appeal out there for that. Like obviously Alexa made it work for years, but Alexa also has the ability to get you to care about her with her promo skill. I don't know how good Tatum is on the mic, to be honest with you. I will say they had the little sit down or whatever that I saw during the promo package that I was not too impressed with. I also I I have to start taking my like big brain thinker hat off evidently whenever I watch wrestling. But I'm like, dude, she's a grown woman and her gimmick is like playing with dolls. Like if it was voodoo dolls, sure, and I know that's what they're going for, but then when they show the clips, it's like Barbies. I'm like, all right, man. You kind of lost me a little bit.
And I don't know if you can explain the culling to me, but I don't know. They make me irrationally just angry when I see them. What are they supposed to be there?
Just angry.
Yeah, just because I don't know what's going on here. Sean Spears comes out there, and you got the guy that has the same haircut as Sean Spears and pretty much the same attire as Sean Spears right next to him. And they come out there to this angelic music. So I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know what the hell the culling is, Mike. Can you explain it to me? Like I'm five. Explain the culling.
Yeah,
Mike, did you hang up?
I don't know. I wish they would just name Sean Spears 10 and name the other guy 20. I think that would get more over in my
There you
house
go.
if we're being completely
Okay.
honest.
All right. And
But
why are they following around that young lady?
well, they used to be following around two young ladies. That's the whole crux of this
Oh,
situation.
okay.
But as far as the match goes, there was a step up enziguri that Tatum hit from the outside to Izzy, who was kind of like leaning outside to grab Tatum. I thought that was cool. I've never really seen anything like that. Um, and Tatum's stuff is crisp. Like she's not just some Daniel Bryan in there, but I thought she was pretty solid in the ring. I don't think a main roster pull up is out of the realm of possibility for her maybe in the next year or so, like maybe next WrestleMania or next Royal Rumble. I mean, there was a sunset flip over the top to the floor that was a little bobbled but brutal. And then we moved to the finish, which I thought was mostly well executed. One thing that I did like, Spears ate the shot from Tatum, which visually makes sense because look at Tatum, look at Spears. But then Izzy came through and hit him with an elbow, and then he got knocked down. That makes a little more sense to me. Izzy does have some size. She's a taller woman.
But
Uh,
doesn't that kind of bury Tatum's offense? She can't knock down Spears,
well, I mean,
but
Spears is a
Izzy
grown
can.
man.
Well, they're still wrestling though, Micah.
Yeah, but look at her.
And
She's minute.
okay, well, if she can do damage, she being Izzy Dame, if she can do damage to Sean Spears, and Tatum Paxley can't do damage to Sean Spears, and then Tatum Paxley beats Izzy Dame, well, how would that make any sense? Shouldn't Izzy Dame just roll right through Tatum Paxley if that was the case?
I see what you're saying, but you forgot to factor in the just enjoy wrestling.
Oh, she did her power up move too.
There
The
you
code
go.
breaker
The
power
fighting
up.
spirit. Yeah. That was gonna be the point that I brought up with the finish that I did not like.
So
Just
stupid.
because she completely no sold the code breaker, does a backflip, gets right back up, wins the match. That's just come on now.
Stupid. That's stupid. Yeah, we hated it when El Clon did it to Champa. Was that Champa or was that Briscoe? I think it was Briscoe. He did a J driller,
That's
and El
right.
Clon did a little flip up, and everybody said it looks so cool. But it made no sense when it comes to the actual working of a professional wrestling match. But yeah, they did that here, and it was a lot of awkward stuff in this match too. But we gotta give them a little slack. This is developmental, so you're gonna see guys, kind of shimmying to spots that they need to be on
Yeah,
the mat.
Izzy was bad about that.
Yeah, yeah, and it was very obvious too. Like at least can you hide it a little better, or can the camera cut somewhere? Go to the live footage of Lola Vice's dad. Can we get more footage of him? Should have cut to him. He made some good reaction faces throughout the night. So I don't know, man. It's just a lot of people did enjoy this match. I'm happy for them, and the ladies worked hard. And
Yeah.
Tatum Paxley, new North American Women's Champion. Is that what they
Yeah.
call it? All right, there you go.
And the crowd did blow for her too. They got up. They were all
It
standing
blew all
O.
right.
All right. Let me get out of here. Next up in an NXT underground match, Kalani Jordan versus Lola Vice. Now, at the start of this, I have never seen an underground match. So I wrote, this should be interesting. These hybrid MMA matches never work. However, I
Yeah.
kind of felt pleasantly surprised as I got out of this one. I honestly thought this was the best match of the entire show. I think this is the best pseudo MMA fight that I've ever seen on a professional wrestling television show. It didn't last too long. Both ladies didn't really look like they were pulling their punches or throwing. Like I like her, but like Roxanne does those windmill strikes that are just so fake. Like I didn't really see anything like that in this. And I also thought the finish was pretty masterful with the spinning back fist. Just caught her, out of nowhere. Ball game. Thought Lola's dad had pretty good reactions. I think at one point he like snatched his jacket off or
He
whatever because he was
it,
pissed.
it seemed like he didn't know that it was a work foul. He went like he
Yeah.
wanted to storm the ring.
No, he's like Ilya. Nobody told him it's fake.
Hey, I will say at the end though, Micah, twerking in front of Pops is crazy. Did you see that?
Huh?
Pops was in the ring. She started shaking that thing. I don't
I
know,
did
man.
not see that.
You didn't see that?
I did not see that. I'm sure
Like,
Booker T saw it. Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah,
man.
but that was her thing in MMA too. I don't know if she made it to UFC, but she was known for doing that after her fights. Doing a little shimmy shimmy. But I don't know, when Pop's in the ring, that seemed a little
A little
that's crazy, bro.
diabolical.
Yeah, I don't know about that, cuz is he a plant? Is that a plant, Micah? Is that a
Oh,
stunt daddy?
I honestly would hope if that's the case. Can you imagine? That's I don't even want to think about that. Anyways, no, I did not see that. But not to be any type of way, but that is some of her appeal. So for the people that like that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing those people like.
She's gonna get over on the main roster. She will get over.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, look at Stephanie.
Well,
As far as the match goes, what did you think, Ryan? I know we're usually really critical because it's a
yeah.
fine line when you do these MMA matches.
I usually the fight pit or the underground matches that they do, they're usually quick, so I'm a fan of that. But they are tough to pull off because you have to make it look real, but you don't want to actually hurt your opponent, which is the whole concept of professional wrestling. But I don't know, it's different when you add the MMA element to it. But I think they pulled it off as best as you can do, and it didn't overstay its welcome. And the spinning back fist, like you pointed out, I thought that was pretty cool at the end. And yeah, the lighting kind of threw me off for a little bit. I don't remember them dimming the lights that
Yeah.
much during the underground match.
Well, too, I was trying to watch it and I was outside. So I was like having a and it's daytime, we got
Yeah,
daylight savings time now in Alabama and it's hot. I'm sitting here like trying to huddle up to my phone to see what's
yeah.
happening.
Did they go down
Uh
to the Hart family dungeon to film this, Micah?
yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, shout out both these ladies. I actually thought this was the best match of the
Yeah,
whole PLE. So if you didn't watch anything, make sure you check this out. I think both ladies will be good on the main roster. Kalani can talk too. Like she's good in the ring and she is not as robotic on the mic as a lot of the ladies in developmental.
yeah. I think her babyface persona wasn't the best at showcasing her charisma, but as a heel, as most most times in professional wrestling, when you're a heel, you can show more of your personality. She has a little bit of it.
Yeah. Well, time to move on to the 3-star generals putting on that
Oh no.
3-star classic. For the NXT championship, Joe Hendry versus Ricky Starks. Ricky
I did.
Saints, excuse
Yeah,
me.
Ricky Saints. I'll have you know. I didn't. I don't. This just happened. This was there. I don't think this was bad. I don't think this was particularly great. I just think that it happened.
I love Ricky. I think he's going to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like Joe Hendry is a very budget milk toast Cody Rhodes. Like, I can't look at him and not think that. And Ricky is honestly a Rhodes disciple. So when you get these two in the ring, as I wrote down, I think both guys are talented, but like this is every bit of a 3-star match. That's
Do
it.
you
Like no more, no less.
do you think that Joe Hendry is a little too much comedy to be taken serious as a feature marquee attraction? Like, cause there's a
I
fine line, like a Kurt Angle. You know, Kurt Angle could pull off comedy, but nobody really looked at him as like, the butt of all the jokes. Once he got in that ring, he is still an Olympic athlete. But with Joe Hendry, can you make that? Can you like flip the switch and take him as a serious threat, Micah? Because I'm having a hard time doing
that's my issue. I buy Ricky as a real threat, former NXT champion. He talks the talk, walks the walk. With Joe, it's just it feels like
that.
a comedy slash like nostalgia act. Like he doesn't feel original to me. Nothing about him really feels that original other than just the little turn when you say his name type thing. Like he hit an attitude adjustment. And then what's his finisher? The standing O. But isn't that what actually is it? I can't even remember. But I remember seeing it and I was like, dude, this just isn't original. Like I don't see anything original with Joe Hendry. I think people just like to laugh.
Yeah, and then but it's not even just the turning around at comedic moments when he comes out to the ring, but he like appears in backstage segments and people sing his name, bro. I know that's fine if you're like at a level as a Danhausen, shout out him, or like a Santino Marella, R-Truth. They can get away with stuff like that, but once you're trying to draw the house and draw mass appeal. I don't know if you can do that acting as a like a SNL character. I don't know. I want to
Yeah.
like it, but I can't I can't do it as a main event attraction.
Yeah, something just isn't clicking for me. His finisher, the standing O, is just like uh it's basically a choke slam. You just hold it in the air for a good while. And like I heard on the commentary for the match, they talked about he was like a decorated amateur wrestler in the UK.
I
So
I just remember him from that What Culture promotion back in like 2014, and he was still doing the comedy stuff, and everybody was singing his praises back then.
So that's my thing. I just don't. Something needs to make me buy him as a legitimate threat, and right now, I just don't. I don't know if it's the bleach blonde hair or just the stuff he's involved in.
He looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's not a small guy. It's just the comedy stuff that he is fully committed to. Give him that. And his fans love it. And it seems to get social media praise when it, gets in favor with the algorithm. It float around with people on people's timeline or For You page. And usually people are praising the gimmick, but it's just not for me when it comes to a main event attraction. The world champion on a WWE branded show, I don't buy it. It feels Bo Dallasy to me.
Yeah. No, that right there is the best comparison I could think because I felt the same way about Bo Dallas. He just didn't scream like world champ to me. He was too smiley. I don't know. I also thought it was kind of funky. Ricky hits a low blow and the Revolution DDT, and I thought that should have been the end of it. But then Joe, who is the very like vanilla baby face, uh, cheats to win. So I thought that was a little bit odd. But Joe Hendry retains the NXT Championship. I won't even give like a full rating to this. It was just there. and it's definitely not going to show up in any of our like end of the year PLE reminiscing. So,
Oh.
but we move on to Raw. This was in Seattle, Washington, and before we actually get into the show itself, they have to go to Seattle more. This crowd was rocking like the entire show, especially during a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about. But you know, you don't think of Seattle as like this really hot crowd, but I don't know, man. Like this was definitely better than that Chicago crowd for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of shows out there, so there's a lot of hungry people for professional wrestling. Meanwhile, Chicago gets a show every other month. It seems like.
Yeah. A quick hit on a few things. We'll go to the Seth segment, which opened up the show.
Oh, man.
I don't have a lot of material for this, but it was definitely here and something that happened. I don't think this is Seth's best work by any means. Obviously, I feel like they saw the backlash to the masked man gimmick, and now they're trying to like make it something else. And I'm not really a fan of that either. However, I will say LA Knight got a massive pop at the back end of this segment.
Oh, of course, he's still over. Did you think Aces and Eights was returning when all these masked men came out?
Oh
You get
God.
flashbacks.
No, all I could think about was we mentioned him a couple weeks ago. What's the guy
Masked
from the
man.
WWE games?
Oh, the road to WrestleMania, SmackDown versus Raw 2009 with Chris Jericho.
Yes.
You had Tony.
Tony, that was it. Yeah,
Was
that's what I
Tony? Was
thought
that?
of.
Wait, no, that wasn't that same. That was the John Cena storyline with Tony.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Chris Jericho one had the masked man, and I think it turned out to be Mr. Kennedy. That's what I feel like it was. Spoiler alert if you haven't played a 16-year-old game, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I was about to say. It's been out long enough.
I don't know, man. All my e-drones out there. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is legitimately fed bad material. This is not good. This was not
Yeah.
good. And it looks so silly. And then Adam Pearce just buried it almost immediately on the mic. You remember when they did that little shuffle thing in the ring? They were mixing up all the masked men to try to throw you off, Micah.
Yeah.
And then Adam Pearce just says on the mic, I don't know what all that was about. Just like buries it right then and there.
I didn't even really catch that.
It looks so goofy, man. Did you see that one like morbidly obese masked man?
Yes, the guy that there's
funny.
no way that's Seth Rollins.
That was pretty funny. I'll give him that. But yeah, I don't know what the original plan was with Braun and Bronson getting hurt, and now we got the remnants of the Vision. We got, what would you even call that, Mike? Because it's not a Vision anymore. It's just an
Cataracts.
illusion. Okay, yeah, we got that. So we getting Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins again at WrestleMania? Is that what we're doing? Or are we going with a 2-on-2? Logan Paul, Austin Theory, LA Knight, Seth Rollins? Is that really the plan now?
Stinky.
I guess you kind of have to.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do with LA Knight if he's not going against Brock Lesnar?
It's we'll tune in next week. Seth still hasn't told us anything.
I just would like to point out, please direct your attention to what Seth Rollins is currently involved in, and direct your attention to what Roman is involved in. So just
where everybody
keep
knows
that in your
Dean's the
mind.
real star of this package. Everybody knows
Lord.
Dean.
We'll talk about him in a little bit. I'm sure we'll get to these predictions. I thought Penta cut a pretty good promo before his Intercontinental Championship match. It was kind of inspirational. you could tell he like really meant it. There was a lot of emotion behind it. Some of it was in Spanish, but again, some things translate language or transcend language. But the first half of it was in English, and I thought it came across pretty well, but not a whole lot to break down there. But there is a lot to break down in terms of the Judgment Day, which finally went through an implosion. We got the Judgment Day turning on Finn, largely due to the happenings with Dom losing his Intercontinental Championship. Were you expecting it this early, Ryan? And did you expect JD McDonough
Early.
to? Well, I meant this early into the WrestleMania season. And did you expect JD McDonough to stay with Dominic?
Yes and yes, but man, it's crazy. Like the nosedive the Judgment Day took when Damian Priest left the group and just proceeded to beat Finn Balor over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
Finn
just look at,
Balor.
yeah, it just completely solidified him as Finn Balor. He never got an upper hand on Damian Priest, and now we're supposed to take Finn as a credible threat now. And speaking of credible threats, Micah, what the heck is the Judgment Day now? You got Dom, a job guy, and Raquel and Liv. Can we bring
Yeah.
back Carlito? Is Carlito still available?
I think in all honesty, I would have rather had JD just stay with Finn and have Dom with the ladies. I think that could have been like a little stable that didn't like officially have a name or anything. But yeah, I don't know what you do with JD McDonough now. And as
This is
much as I love Penta winning the Intercontinental Championship, I feel like this could have been for the Intercontinental Championship instead at WrestleMania.
well, maybe they're saving Penta for they won the IC title in like some big ladder match. I'm sure we get a ladder match on the card because we got to have a ladder match, a multi-man ladder match at that on every WrestleMania card. So they probably wanted the Intercontinental title. And you can do Dom and Finn, I guess, at WrestleMania. I personally, it wouldn't be a match that I'm going to be glued to the television screen to watch. I'm interested to see how the fans react to Finn Balor, but yeah, it was they're at least doing stuff on the show. It's a
Yeah.
low bar. We're doing stuff. Just the turn that you wanted to see happened 2 years too late.
You know what I would have done differently with this? And I guess there is still time. So you remember when Dom put the hammer in his shoe and did the 619 and that whole charade? If I was WWE, I would have Finn Balor come out in an eye patch for the rest of the WrestleMania build and sell that he's not cleared. WWE cannot clear him. He sustained an eye injury, like a broken orbital or something like that. And let that kind of build that Finn is not cleared, and then maybe we go with some kind of street fight or something. They love doing that type stuff, anyways. So Finn's not clear. This match is not necessarily sanctioned by WWE, and then at WrestleMania, Finn comes out right, and he has this makeup. He has the eye patch off, and he's the demon Finn Balor again, right? And he has the makeup that's like almost like the demon is coming out of this eye that had been injured. And then it's kind of like the rebirth of Finn Balor and the demon.
Okay.
I think that would actually be interesting, and there's a very easy way to segue to that with what I just said. And I thought of that within 5 seconds. And instead, we're going to get probably just regular old Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. I just thought that would be a cool touch.
I think if you were to ever bring back the demon, it has to be at this WrestleMania. It has to be against Dom. And if you want to do something with Finn, you keep him as the Demon. I want to see the Demon every week. I mean, if Sting can paint his face up every week, then Finn, you get in that locker room, you paint up your face. Okay?
You painting that face, brother.
Yeah, you paint in the face, brother. Like, come on now. You got one chance. You got one last opportunity. I need, if you're gonna be a top guy, you got to paint that face up.
So I don't know. I
don't
just
like it, pal.
man, take it or leave it. Take it or go be Prince Devitt. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that would be a cool little inclusion that I just thought of. Following that, we had a quick little squash match with Obafemi, our guy, versus Rusev. And not a ton to break down here, but he has that kind of deadlift throw that he hit, and then the fall from grace. I thought that was a spectacle to watch.
Well, Micah, why didn't it go longer? Oba should have showed more of his moveset.
Nope. What Big E say? You keep your 5-star bangers. You can keep your work rate. Just give me big, meaty men slapping meat. That's what I want. We don't need your 25-minute classics. Nah. Just two big old men banging on dudes.
Just bang when a guy is banging you.
Yeah.
And you spin off his body. Nah, man, the finisher kick out fest was not needed for Obafemi and Rusev. They did exactly what they needed to do, didn't overstay his welcome, and it gets you know what? One gripe. Shout out Obafemi, he did win this match. He beat Rusev, but how long is he gonna be a free agent, Micah? How long do you get to be a free agent? Because Trick signed, Javon signed. What's taking so long with Oba? I'm not booking him on my show if he's not making a commitment.
No, I agree with you because I thought the same thing when they said that. Like they were like, "Oh, hot free agent has a match against Rusev." I was like, "How is he still a free agent? We're like 4 weeks out from Mania."
Yeah. The free agent period ain't ended.
Yeah. Sorry, brother, your free agency has been voided. Back to NXT you go. Like what the heck? So yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, good squash match. We need more of those in wrestling. And I really can't even call it a squash match because Rusev didn't necessarily look bad either. Like he got some offense in.
It was a short showcase match for Obafemi. Wasn't a squash match per se, but he didn't have he didn't break a mean sweat when going up against Rusev.
And the main event of Raw was not necessarily a match, but CM Punk came out to the ring to talk about Roman and was interrupted by the Usos. Jay obviously asked him to apologize for the inflammatory comments about Sika last week. And I got to give a shout to a guy that has long been forgotten in the aftermath of the bloodline. But Jimmy Uso was great here. And I think this tandem, people can say whatever they want about Jey Uso. I know, main event Jey Uso is not everybody's cup of tea. But the Usos together are amazing.
Yeah. I agree. The good cop, bad cop dynamic that they pull off, it kind of reminded me of when Sammy was getting jumped out the bloodline. Jay kind of going through a crisis in the background while Jimmy's just the calm presence. It sent me back, and it reminded me of why Jay got so over. I know he's the butt of all the jokes online now, but man, when those two are together, they're the yin and the yang. They just play off each other so well. Good cop, bad cop.
100%. Because Jay's that crash out. Like he's just ready to go at the drop of a pin.
He got
and
the switch.
Jimmy's like, "Hey, let's think about this."
Yeah, Jimmy's like, "Hey, take it easy, pal."
Yeah. So I thought this was really good. Obviously Punk brought up, the truth, which was the fact that Roman never apologized to the Usos even though they
Oh,
basically forgave him and just went right back to his side for War
he
Games and all that stuff.
Roman never apologized to Jay, Jimmy, or Sammy. Never apologized to any of them.
And so I guess maybe that kind of poses a question for me to ask you, Ryan. You know, Drew McIntyre kind of became the truth-telling heel.
Mm.
Heels in today's day and age tell the truth. Are we seeing shades? Maybe an early tipping of the cap to a heel CM Punk turn at WrestleMania?
You know, it would be justified with a heel turn, but I was thinking about this, Micah. I was looking at both the main events of night 1 and night 2. We think night 1's gonna be Randy versus Cody. That's 2 baby faces. And then you
Yep.
look at night 2, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. That's 2 baby faces. So we're getting 2 separate nights where the marquee matchups are 2 baby faces facing off against each other. I don't think that stays like that going into WrestleMania. Somebody's turning heel. And I I think the number one, probably the best guy you can turn heel at this moment is CM Punk.
I mean, we're all clamoring for it.
Yeah. And the best part is we don't know where they're gonna go. Because like I thought I knew where they were gonna go throughout this whole build. I thought, we're just gonna get the promo battles and a guy one up and another guy. But now they're playing off the bloodline history. And, if it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. The bloodline will draw you money, it will draw you attention, and I'm a big fan of that. And the fact that Punk didn't forget, he actually watches the shows, Mike. A lot
Yeah.
of guys don't watch the shows, but bringing up the past like that, saying that, Roman never took responsibility, but it's such a big problem when CM Punk doesn't take responsibility. I don't know. It felt real, as
Yeah.
most of CM Punk's promo segments go. And I don't know if you noticed this, Micah. I don't know if you caught this, but CM Punk made a little subtle, callback to a certain wrestler last week when he said, "You just made the list." And this week in CM Punk's promo, Micah, he mentioned that was it Alpha that took him under the learning tree?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Are we looking too much into it?
I don't know. I will say this. You just made the list last week. I was like, you know, the little Leonardo DiCaprio, whoop, 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 whoop. That was like immediately, I was like, wait a minute. Then the learning tree, I didn't catch it, but now that you mention it,
Yeah, 2 weeks in a
2 weeks
row.
in a row,
You remember when Punk came
interesting.
back and we were getting all those subtle hints and everybody thought we were insane for saying, I don't know, it might be something there. Uh, they might throw us a curveball on the road to WrestleMania, Mike.
Could be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm
We'll
here.
see if some walls break down.
The segment ends with Jimmy and Jay both giving CM Punk, a elbow or a right hand, because CM Punk did apologize, but he apologized that Roman Reigns sent 2 young boys to do his dirty work for him, and that sent both Usos over their edge.
Yeah. And I thought that tease was masterful. Like once again, man, I told you earlier there was people hating on this online. I say it. Well, I say one of two things every week. To myself, I say, "Holy crap, this segment was great. How can it get better?" And then they top it every week. And then I say this every week on the pod. I'm going to keep saying it until somebody proves me wrong. CM Punk is the wrestler of the year right now. No ifs, ands, or
Yep.
buts about it. He's the
Yep.
guy in the most interesting storyline in wrestling. Like, what more do you need? So we'll be here next week, and we'll be glazing CM Punk next week, and that will continue until morale improves. But I thought it was a great segment from all parties involved, and now I'm very interested to see next week because are the Usos going to come back to join Roman in this promo segment? Is it just going to be Roman and Punk? There's so many layers to this, and there's still 50-something days to WrestleMania.
We're here
But
on the road.
This weekend, we have AEW Revolution, Sunday, March 15th. So we're going to go ahead and get some predictions. We don't know if they're going to add anything after Dynamite. I would not think so, considering there's about 8 matches on the main card already. So we'll break this down as of right now. So to start us off in a singles match, Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir. Everyone is banned from ringside.
I guess you got to go Marina Shafir here. They gotta eventually cash in on what they've been building with her for the last 2 years. So I can see Marina finally getting a marquee win. And Toni Storm just had that marquee win in Australia.
Yeah, I think that was exactly what I was about to bring up and why I was going to pick Marina, because they got the Grand Slam win. Following that, we've got Big Boom AJ versus To Be Announced.
Oh, so you're saying there is hope for my Road Dogg prediction?
Hey, and you never know till bell time. Obviously, I think Big Boom AJ is going to win.
I don't know. Let's see who he faces.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll see. Following that, for the Trios Championship, the Don Callis family, Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis, versus Mystico and Jet Speed.
Just completely replaced Hangman, huh?
Well, he's got a Texas Death Match to take care of later, so we'll sub him in with the greatest luchador in wrestling today. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not Dominic.
Yeah,
The
you gotta
second best
check,
luchador.
check your notes, pal. I guess we'll go with the Don Callis family because they just won it last week, and I'm sure Kevin Knight will continue to be the job guy because that's what you got to do to be a big star in AEW. Apparently, Mike, you got to job out over and over again.
Yeah, ask Ciampa. That I can't
Ask Kevin
understand why they
Knight.
do.
Kevin Knight lost 2 times on last week's Dynamite.
Yeah. No reason, by the way. No reason at all.
No.
2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Tekla, your favorite,
Oh God,
versus Chris
2 out of 3.
Statlander.
No. How about they just shake hands in the locker room and say that we're just gonna split we're just gonna split the 2 falls and we'll just call the third one in the ring.
What if they shook hands and passionately said F you back and forth?
Okay. All right. Are we still gonna have the match?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tekla's good at that. I think she'll have the advantage in that. I'm gonna take Tekla here. She just won the belt, so
I guess. Yeah. The people seem to be the online fan base seem to be warming up to her. So that's all that matters.
I like her, but yeah, I know you are
Oh
very
man.
much not a
She is
fan.
she gives all theater kid vibes, bro. I know we haven't been talking about Dynamite lately, but her promos, they are the most annoying things in wrestling today. I cannot stand the way she delivers her promos. If you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen, just picture if D Reynolds it was a hosting a promo class. That's the vibes I get from Tekla. She just tries way too hard. It feels very performative.
Well, I haven't seen Always Sunny, so I can't really
Can't
go
chime
back and
in.
forth with you on that one.
There
But
you go.
Following that, we've got Brody King versus Swerve Strickland.
For the most dangerous man title.
Oh, they got the BMF belt over here too.
They're on Paramount now. Shouldn't they? They get their right. They can have a partnership, right?
Oh, wait a minute.
Crossover. Yeah,
That's interesting. I didn't think
there
about
you go.
that.
Yeah.
UFC on my
UFC
TKO on
cross.
Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
AEW. Anyways, Brody King versus Swerve Strickland. I'm gonna go with Swerve here. I don't. I don't know why. I guess I just have a feeling. Swerve. Without getting too far into anything, Swerve has really been doing some glazing of some certain high up individuals. So we'll just leave it at that.
Cornball activities, Micah. Call spade a spade. The world's
Yeah.
most dangerous cornball. Yeah, he's gonna get the win here. Brody King is at that spot in AEW where, they're he's not a main event level guy, so he has no shot whatsoever against any main event level guy. But he's just important enough that you can put him in a match like this. He's not gonna win. He'll probably have a good match, but he's not seen at that level from Tony Khan.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be the gatekeeper in all
It's
honesty.
like a Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
Like a Mark Briscoe. Yeah. He's there. He'll, get some fans behind him, but where he's going to be at the end of the day.
Well, following that, we've got Andrade El Idolo versus Bandito.
Any IG baddies in the front row?
We'll see.
Okay.
Who's on the payroll?
We got, where they at? LA? Oh, we got a whole roster we can get through in LA.
Uh-oh. I'm going to see Luka Doncic's ex-fiance in the front row.
Oh, no, come on, stop.
I'm going to take Andrade with this one. They've been doing a lot with him, and I like the IG baddie picture gimmick that he's got going on. So, Andrade's over at my house.
The divorced bachelor gimmick he's got going on.
Yeah, I like it.
I figure Andrade. They don't look at Bandito or Brody King at that level, which is sad because they had a lot of momentum coming out of a lot of people glazing Bandito's work last year, and of course, Brody King had the little mainstream attention from all those chants that the sickos had a couple weeks ago. And now I'm going off on a tangent here, Mike. Who's in this match again? Bandito?
Andrade and Bandito.
Yeah, Andrade. Andrade wins. There you go.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just read the stipulation for this, and this sounds like
What we got? What's going on?
No time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. No time limit with Jon Moxley. I think I'd rather be strapped down and waterboarded.
Where you're gonna get your dose of a little Jon Moxley there on Sunday, pal, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Moxley's the champ, right? Or is he?
Yep.
No, he's not. Oh, he is. Okay. Maybe I can see Takeshita, and then maybe they'll finally pull the trigger on the Death Riders turning their backs on Moxley. So I go Takeshita here.
If you listen,
and then Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you listen out, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere far off in the distance, you can hear that awful riff of the Death Riders music this early. Jon Moxley's going to take this one.
Wow. It's just crazy to see the trajectory that Takeshita was on. Remember he beat Kenny Omega that pay-per-view, and everybody said he was gonna be the next big star, and now he's still in the same spot he's in.
Yeah, they just never move move forward with them.
He's at the Mark Briscoe, Brody King level, bro.
Yeah,
I tell you, it's those type of guys. They never move up. Kyle Fletcher too.
yeah.
Fletcher's still at that same level too, but we're getting on tangents here.
Well, next
Wait,
up,
who's in this match?
oh well,
Who's
it
in
was
that match?
Moxley and Takeshita, but
Oh,
you
okay, yeah,
picked
we already
Takeshita.
did. Yeah, go ahead. Get
For
late.
the AEW World Tag Team Championship, FTR versus the Young
We're still going.
Bucks for how many times?
I think this is part 4.
It's got to be
I
5.
I guess we'll go Young Bucks here. I guess.
Well, how else could we get the tag division over unless we put the World Tag Team Championships on the greatest tag team of all time?
What the hell happened to Adam Copeland and Christian?
I think Copeland is filming Percy
No,
Jackson.
ain't no way. It takes 9 months for him to film a a background role in Percy Jackson. There's
Bad
no
role at
way.
that.
How long? No, bro. It don't take that long to film a movie. Stop it.
No, I
And
don't know.
all you gotta do, you gotta be there one day a week. You tell me you can't make TV?
That's just what I've heard, but I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe we
that's
see the return of Edge and Christian here.
we've been saying that for months. Remember when they said Miro was just filming a movie? He was gonna be back any
Oh
day
yeah,
now. It just never showed back up.
bought a house in
I'm still waiting on that
Bulgaria.
movie. What happened to that movie? Went straight to DVD, just like Triple
Yeah.
H's.
Oh man, it's a good callback. I like that. For the main event, AEW World Championship, last chance Texas Death Match. If Hangman Adam Page loses, he will never be able to compete for the AEW World Championship ever again. MJF versus Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah. Do we gotta watch that?
I mean, we got to for the show,
All
but
right.
I don't know how it's gonna turn out.
I guess Hangman. Hangman.
I think it has to be Hangman, right?
Well, you cool. You could do what you did with Cody at the beginning of AEW. You know, he just lost and he never challenged for the world title again.
Well, maybe the Marty Scurll picture was just a soft
Oh
launch
no,
into his WWE return.
he's
Or
getting his
return,
release.
debut. Yeah.
He's probably been a security guard over there once or twice.
Everyone has at one point in time.
Everyone has. Have you? I feel like I've seen you backstage.
Well, I do look like a lot of I
There
have a
you
pretty
go.
I have a pretty
How else?
generic build, just a dirty blonde white guy with glasses.
How else did you get that picture with Titus O'Neil? Huh?
Oh, there we go. Hey, you were there, pal.
I was there. I was a security guard too. Then.
Yeah. How do you think we got those t-shirts? Yeah, I'm gonna go Page here. I don't know. It's I think you pretty much wrote the winner with the stipulation, and I don't know, man. I thought AEW was cooking in the summer. They gave the belt to Page. Things cooled off. You ask AEW fans right now, this is the best they felt about the product. And we're going to give the belt to Page, and it's going to cool it right back off. Because Page, sadly, has an inability to really tell any stories, or Tony Khan is a bad booker because he can't book babyface champions. So it's either or in AEW fans. Like the sickos can't decide, but it has to be one or the other. Either Hangman Adam Page is not the main character world champion you think he is, or Tony Khan is not a competent booker.
Mm.
Choose your favorite. Like it has to be one or the other. But that's AEW Revolution. We will be back next week to talk about that. I'm sure we'll hit some quick hitters as well. We're on the road to WrestleMania, so it's almost impossible to really skip any thing because so many big things happen at once. But we appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you check out our socials. we should be back Tuesday with that review. If not Tuesday, then maybe Wednesday. But yeah, check out all the socials. We've been doing some 2K26 streams as well. I've been having a lot of fun with that. So if that's something you want to see, make sure you go follow us on TikTok. Take care of yourself over the weekend and have a good one.